Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we're at smashjt.com right now. We're going to talk about IMDb accidentally exposing all of the upcoming Sweet Baby Inc. clients. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, Sweet Baby Inc.'s going to put their Sweet Baby stink on some more video games, destroy some more developers, and put some more people out of work, and then they're just going to go on their merry way and do it again somewhere else down the road, suffering zero repercussions for this. There's nothing I want to see more than this company destroyed. So, anybody out there in development and all that, if these guys come knocking at your door, tell them to go pound sand, kick them in the ass, and send them on their merry way. Sweet Baby Inc., known for its controversial, focused application of diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, or as I like to call it, didn't earn it, principles, has been caught working on some very big upcoming games that we've been looking forward to. This is going to throw a wrench into that hype machine. And here's Smash JT talking himself about it on X. Bad news for Indiana Jones and a Great Circle. I didn't see one, and he passes it on to Cabrutus, who curates that list, Sweet Baby Inc. Detected on Steam. He didn't see it on the DEI Detected list yet or anything like that. So, Sweet Baby Inc.'s involved in a game he was looking forward to here, which is that new Indiana Jones game. Among the notable titles on the list is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, one of his most anticipated games of the year. Now it's removed from his hype list, and that sucks. And it does suck. It's frustrating that these things happen. And there was a point in time, not too horribly long ago, that, even personally I'd be like, well, God, that sucks, it's aggravating, but you know what, I'll play it anyway and just try to ignore that crap and, whatever. Now I'm done with it. I'm completely done with this industry and all this garbage like that. If I know ahead of time that it's going to have this DEI crap in it, even if it's just a suspect thing that I see in the trailer that I'm like, I don't know about it, I will not pre-order it. I will not get it until I see it come out and I can actually hear some people talk about it and go, no, that wasn't the way it looked, it's fine, everything's good, or, oh yeah, they sure as hell did it, so-and-so's gay, or so-and-so they made black, or they did this, or they did that, or whatever. I'm waiting. And that's a shame, because it's really taken a lot of the fun out of gaming for me. But you know what? If people don't do that, they're just going to continue to churn out garbage year after year, and so it falls upon us to talk back with our wallets and say, well, you're not getting my money, and they won't get my money. I wasn't really looking forward to this game anyway. Indiana Jones, I was a young teenager when Raiders of the Lost Ark came out. I think I might have been 12 or 13. I don't remember what year it came out exactly. I was born in 70, so if you know what year it came out off the top of your head, you can do the math. But so it was a great movie for me as a kid. It was PG long before PG-13 movies came out. And I loved it, the music. My dad and I went to see it. It was exciting and fun and cool. And at the end was horrifying with the melting faces. It was wild. It was a wild, exciting ride. And to this day, that movie holds up to me. It's that much fun. The sequel was okay. The Temple of Doom was all right. It definitely didn't reach the levels that Raiders did. And the third movie, The Last Crusade, was about as close as you can get to the original. Had a little Sean Connery in it, had a little River Phoenix in it in the beginning. Really great film. Not quite as good as the original, but really, really close. And then that piece of crap fourth movie came out, and this last one I didn't even see. I watched the fourth one and was just... It was just disappointing then. I watched it again recently just to say, well, maybe I was being a little harsh. Maybe time was kind to this movie. No, time was not kind to that movie. It's still garbage. And the new one I heard was absolute refuse. And I had no intention of watching a movie where they kind of deconstruct Indiana Jones and try to replace him with some young woman character. I mean, that's nothing I'm interested in. So my fondness for Indiana Jones died a long time ago. And, unless they completely rebooted this and did it right with a new character or something like that, with a new actor, I should say, playing Indiana Jones, then I'll never see another Indiana Jones film again. I don't want to see them continue to abuse a character that I love. But anyway, Sweet Baby Inc. has been criticized for forced DEI elements in games. They compromise artistic integrity and creative freedom, and the company's approach prioritizes social agendas over gameplay quality and authentic narrative of games. The sentiment was created by incidents involving Sweet Baby Inc. employees, such as how Chris Kindred, who's been accused of aggressive behavior toward individuals in the industry, and he further damages the company's reputation. Yeah, these guys will do this kind of stuff, right? They'll get called out for it, and then they'll go on social media and they'll try to dox you, they'll try to harass you, they'll say all kinds of horrible stuff and all that. They're really kind of the worst people in the world. I mean, they really are. You know, they talk about social justice and equality and all these other things. And all it is they want to force you to see the world through the lens in which they see it. And when you refuse to, bend your knee to them and see things the way they see it, if you just want to look at the world from your own perspective and reality, they get mad, and it's this power thing. It's this weird power thing. They're so narcissistic and they think they have this power over you, and they just want to, if you won't follow what they want you to follow, they just want to crush you. And that's really gross behavior, man. God, I'd love to see, the other person in any of these assholes' relationships. They must be just a crushed person, a husk of a soul, whatever. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. But anyway, initially, Chris kicked off the whole Gamergate 2 by trying to get Cabrutus canceled for daring to list the games Sweet Baby Inc. had been involved with. And when JT began covering the situation on his YouTube channel, Kindred reached out to his former place of work to get him fired and telling them that he was racist. He reached out, JT, to Sweet Baby Inc. about the situation, and they still haven't responded, which is, not shocking. But yeah, like he says, they got a real quality company there. They're a garbage company. But here's a full list of the games that were listed on IMDb. A lot of these we knew. God of War Ragnarok, And I'll tell you my personal experiences with some of these that I've had. God of War Ragnarok, I enjoyed the game immensely. I could see their work in there, though, in Angerboda, who was a frost giant that was black. Great actress, did a great job playing the role and all that, but it really took me out of the story when I saw her. I'm like, really? We got a black frost giant, for God's sake? In Norse legend? Come on. Hogwarts Legacy. I played Hogwarts Legacy through. A pretty fun game, but there was so much pushback for it. This is one of those games I bought. This game wasn't even on my radar. I bought it because there was so much pushback from all these freaks online about the whole J.K. Rowling hates trans people and all that, and they're trying to cancel the game. So, it had the opposite effect. A lot of us bought it because of that, myself included, and the game was somewhat enjoyable. It was a good open world game. It was fun. Took a lot of time to get through it. There's a lot to do. But it did have its moments in there that were really like the Sir, whatever their name is. I can't even remember their name. The one that ran the bar, the Three Brooms or whatever. The trans person running that, and I'm like, it just took me completely out of the game. But not only that, but actually being in Hogwarts, the school itself. Here we are in, I think it was the late 1800s it took place. In Scotland is where the school's located. And it's just full, everybody's like, it looks like a Benetton ad as you're walking around. There's a black kid, there's an Indian kid, a Spanish kid, Asian kid, white kid, black kid, Spanish kid. You could almost count them, and they're almost like the head count was almost perfect. And it was weird. Now I understand that they pulled, students from around the world and all that, but Harry Potter wasn't like that more recently in the movies and all that. So it just felt weird to go back and to see it that way. I feel like it would have been more focused on that area, because they talk about other schools in different regions. Well, why wouldn't those schools, if there's a school in India, why wouldn't it just be full of Indian students and all that? Why, but it is what it is. But it was just one of those weird things that really felt out of place. Kind of like when you play Horizon games, like Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. And 1,000 years after this big apocalyptic event where humanity was decimated, and there's only a quote-unquote handful of survivors left, and they rebuilt the Earth, why do we still have black people, white people, Asian people, Spanish people and all that? Why isn't everybody a little more homogenized in the area in which they lived, which would make sense? No, instead it's like, no, here's black guy, here's Spanish woman, here's Chinese lady, here's white woman, here's, and it was weird. It was off-putting. I'm like, no, that's not how it would be. that would require these little handfuls of people to keep their bloodlines pure through 1,000 freaking years. No, not happening. Sorry. Everybody would have died off, you know. Everybody would have been homogenized by then, so it's crazy. Assassin's Creed Valhalla I played. Played this game through, beat it, played through... I think all of the DLC. I think I fell a little bit short on the Ragnarok one, that final one that came out. It was just too much by that point. I'm like, I've had more than enough. A fun game where you conquered a fractured England during the Viking era. It was fun in that regard, but there was so much DEI crap in there, so much gay stuff, you know, and it took you out of it, and it did it in such a way that it applied it with a hammer. Like, I remember going to London at one point, and I think it was the sheriff and the mayor of London were gay for each other, but one of them, I believe, was married. I don't remember exactly how it worked, but when I first met these characters, I was like, I think it was the sheriff I met first. I'm like, here we go, gay character. I could tell, you know, just by his mannerism, certain things he said and all that. I'm like, this guy's gay. I think I even say it in the video when I'm making it. That's one of my very first videos from a couple years back when I sucked a lot more than I suck now. You know, I was like, oh, this guy's gay. Yeah, I could tell, you know. And instead of just leaving it at that, like, this character's gay, and maybe having the other character in there and they're both, you know, allude to it. No, they had to apply it with a hammer and, you know, make them gay for each other. And I think they came out to you. And it was just, it's ridiculous. There's no nuance to it. You know, if you want to put that stuff in there and you want to have it a little bit nuanced, you know, it's like, all right, here we go. You know, at least we can walk past it. But no, it's like, no, here's gayness. You weren't sure? Here, let me slap you in the face with it. Here you go. Here's some more gay, you know, and just keep. And it's like, all right, we get it. They're gay. It's fine. You know, can we please move on to something else? Because I don't care. I don't even want to look at it. But yeah, there's that. Now it's a little frustrating in that game. Because there was quite a bit of that. You know, we all know about the Suicide Squad this year and what a failure that is. And now they've got Miss Freeze, the non-binary woman, the non-binary character that looks like she owns an antique / coffee shop in a little downtown area of a small city or something. Yeah, this looks awful. Absolutely terrible. Gotham Knights is a crap show. Saints Row. Failure. You know, you can look through these. This was not a failure, right? This was not a failure. But it wasn't that well received overall, but for a lot of reasons other than that, you know. But, I mean, looking through this, you know, we've had some good successes. Alan Wake 2 is... I just played Alan Wake with knowing that this was coming out later that year. You know, so I was like, you know what? I got the remaster. I played through it. And it was a fun game. It was interesting. It was, you know, it was a mind-boggling kind of mystery, horror, and a lot of fun and all that. And they had to come up with Alan Wake 2, and it's now Alan Wake and Black Sheriff Lady or Black FBI Agent or something like that is what it should be called, instead of just Alan Wake 2. It's horrifying. Starfield caught a lot of grief when it came out, and it asked for pronouns in the beginning. I hear mixed stuff about Starfield. I hear it's just more Bethesda serving up what they've served up for, you know, decades now, which is good if you like that. If you don't like that, then it's bad. And if you're kind of tired of it, then it's like, well, maybe I'll just skip this meal and see if they learn any new recipes next time around. Miles Morales, I heard good things about that game. Haven't really heard anything bad about it. Gotham Knights was a kind of a failure. I don't know much about Gears 5 or Ratchet & Clank, but yes, Saints Row, Marvel's Adventures Forspoken, all horrible. Tales of Kinsara, the director of that one, is blaming people now for hating on his game or something like that. We just saw Wolverine was announced to have gayness in it, and we saw Miss Marvel's look in there. I can't even think of her name right now. Jean Grey, you know, looking like Eugene Grey with her square jaw and all that. It's absolutely terrible. Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, Lord of the Rings Gollum. Oh, one of the worst games of 2023. I think if Kong would have waited a few months and came out, you know, back in 2024, this would have taken 2023 hands down, but Kong gave it some serious, or Kong Island or whatever it was called, gave it some serious run for its money. Gear Tactics, Skull and Bones. So here's more Ubisoft. These guys they're just crap in the bed lately. But anyway, yeah, set in the Indian Ocean, players tried to become the ultimate pirate legend. You saw the trailer for it featured a black protagonist character. Now, granted, you make your own character in the game, but of course they chose to do the black protagonist, which is fine. If that's what they wanted, that's cool. Pirates came in all colors and that sort of thing. But the game is another big failure, and I don't think that one really has as much to do with Sweet Baby Inc. as it has to do with Ubisoft releasing a crap game after 10 years of development that just isn't even as good as the game it was based off of. More of a Valhalla here, South of Midnight, Outriders, don't know much about that, Dark Alliance, Wonder Woman. Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be DOA. More of a Valhalla, Usual Contraband, Neocab. Anyway, he gives us a link so we can explore the full list ourselves. The whole situation in games underscores the growing debate over the role of DEI in gaming and how they've been caught. Now, CBI is being held accountable by gamers everywhere and have begun to hide, and so these companies are now hiding their involvement in upcoming projects. This IMDb discovery blows the doors off of that secrecy. Huge shout out to Nev G for the help in locating this info. Thank you, Nev G. That's not it, Nev G. That's not. Many gamers have been concerned that the influence of DEI consultation companies like Sweet Baby Inc. could lead to a shift in industry standards that don't align with making a great game because they care more about injecting agendas and politics over true natural diversity and quality storytelling. And that's 100% correct. That's what's happened here. That's why we have so many games that are bad or mediocre that should be great. It's because we're wasting time, money, and resources paying clowns like Sweet Baby Inc. to go in and ruin games. I mean, they're not needed. They're not needed, and I'm hoping that with every game that comes out and fails and every studio that closes because of it, I'm hoping that they really get it together and companies start to go, well, we're gonna not have you do this right now. Maybe next game around, but we're gonna try to do this without you and keep pushing back against them, which would be definitely the way to go. So anyway, guys, if you haven't done so already, please leave a like on the video down below, especially if you agree with this kind of pushback against Sweet Baby Inc. and companies like it, Black Gamer Girls and whatever else they call themselves these days. More and more of them are popping up. I guarantee if these guys close down, they will just reform under a different name, and they're going to keep doing this insidious stuff until they're just blackbarred from the industry totally. Where they're going to say, oh, no, we know you guys used to work with Sweet Baby. Yeah, but we're different now. I don't care. Get the F out of my office, and I don't ever want to see you again, until that happens. And hopefully that does happen. If it doesn't, maybe it'd be time to move on and try a new hobby, right? Poker's fun. Anyway, leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.